Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Wild Flow. I'm your host, Sydney Rose. I'm here to get all your wiggles out for today. So as we all know, Wild Flow is an intuitive practice, so we are going to just flow around and hopefully have some fun. Our theme today, I'm pulling it up right now. Our theme today is I've got you, says the universe, God, source, whatever word you can insert there to be comfortable. So the thing, quote that I will read for us today, goes like this. And quietly, the whole universe leans in to whisper into your ear, let it go, my love. I've got this. So we don't need to hold on to worry. We just need to have faith. We need to walk the path our hearts are leading us on and do it without pride and ego. Just do it. So today, let the universe hold you up and let's get started. If you're following along with our playlist, we will be following Wild Flow 12, I've Got You. So get into a comfortable seated position, move those fleshy bits out of the way, let your hands rest on your knees, palms up or down, let your elbows be loose and soft at your sides. Sit up nice and tall. Give your belly room to breathe. Give your solar plexus room to breathe. Give your heart room to breathe. Give your third eye and your forehead space to breathe by gently tucking your chin and pressing the crown of your head up towards the sky. Slowly close down your eyes, or right before you do, you can press play now. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We're slowly beginning to connect with our breath. We're inhaling through our nose, filling our chest, filling our ribs, and filling our belly. And then we're exhaling from our belly, from our ribs, and from our chest. We're inhaling into our chest, into our ribs, and into our belly. And we're exhaling from our belly, from our ribs, and from our chest. Keep breathing in this way as if you're unzipping a sweater, filling yourself up from top to bottom, and then exhale, zip your sweater back up from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Keep breathing here. Fill yourself all the way up, honoring the cadence where your breath transfers from inhale to exhale with a slight pause in between. You're breathing here. Know that you have arrived. The hard part is over. Allow yourself be here fully. Allow yourself to be here fully. Not worrying about what's going on around you. Not worrying about everything you've been through that got you to this very moment. And most importantly, not worrying about what's coming next. Just allow yourself to be here, trusting the universe, trusting the unfolding of things. You're exactly where you need to be. So just breathe. Fill up your chest, fill up your ribs, fill up your belly, and exhale from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And keep breathing and slowly begin to introduce movement into your body, swaying side to side. This is where our intuition comes in. Just ask your body, what do you need to wake up and be ready? It doesn't matter what part of the day it is, it never hurts to wake up again. So we'll start by doing things like swaying side to side or rocking forward and back. It's totally personal preference. Working with your breath here. Getting into the movements your body can make while seated. And slowly begin to get your arms involved. Maybe that looks like starting by rolling your shoulders forward and back. Maybe you outstretch your arms with your inhale and bring them in towards center with your exhale in different ways, trying to put your hands in a different spot around you with every breath. It doesn't take long to start warming up. It was a little chilly this morning, so we started with a sweater. Keep moving with your breath. Inhaling to lift and open, exhaling to fold and close. So moving around in an intuitive way. Trying to find every vertebrae of your spine and get it ready for movement by moving it around. Big breaths. Remember those shoulders, squeezing them up to the ears, together at the back, and press them down. Nice big shoulder circles happening, maybe one at a time, even rolling back. And we'll roll them forward. So making sure you're really engaging them as you move. We can keep this going as we reach our arms out to the side. Keep your shoulders rolling. And then shimmy your upper body, torso, rib cage side to side. So reaching arms out wide to the side, transferring our weight side to side to side. And we'll inhale, both hands come up over the head, look up, nice big stretch here. And we'll exhale, paint the front of the room with our hands as we hinge at the hips, forward fold, rounding through the low back, tucking the chin. Getting a nice stretch from the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head, folding forward. We're breathing here. We'll come up onto our tippy fingers, fingertips tenting our fingertips, and we'll shift our chest side to side. And then we'll take our chest and draw a little circle with it, pulling our chest forward as we come forward and back the other way. And we'll come forward onto all fours, our hands underneath of our shoulders, our knees underneath of our hips. We'll take a big breath, fill ourselves up. And then as we exhale, we'll tuck our tailbone under, round up through our spine, shoulder blades pull apart, chin tucks. Stretching the back, and we'll inhale, lift the tailbone, lower the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the gaze. And then we'll exhale, tuck the tailbone, round ourselves up all the way, and then start to move our belly all the way in a circle. So arching the spine over to the side, lowering the belly, going over to the other side. So big circles here. Like we're drawing, we're inside a barrel with our chest. Tracing the outside of that barrel and change direction. And we'll sit back on our heels, taking our fingers towards us, heels of the hands in front of us, We'll press our palms down towards the ground, stretching out our wrists. So moving gently forward and back. And then we'll take our hands out to the sides and shift side to side. And the backs of our hands come to rest on the mat, fingers towards us, leaning back. And then we'll return our hands under our shoulders, coming back into our tabletop. We're grounding down to our left hand and our right foot as we extend our left leg and our right arm opposite each other. So big long line from your hand down to your foot. We'll take a great big breath, fill ourselves up. And then exhale fully, holding ourselves here. Little pulses, lifting and lowering through the hand and leg here. And then we'll inhale, fill ourselves up. And exhale, arch the spine, elbow comes to touch the knee. We'll inhale, lift and open. Exhale, elbow to knee, rounding the back. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, rounding the knee. And again, we'll inhale, lift, and open. This time as we exhale, our right arm moves over to the left side of our body, and our left leg moves over to the right. So we're crossing the body here, and then we're inhaling our right arm over to the right, left leg over to the left, reaching sideways, and exhaling, crossing the body. Inhaling to open, exhaling to cross. Inhaling to open, exhaling across. And one last time, we'll inhale to open, letting that left leg lower down to the mat. We'll roll up one vertebrae at a time, or it's the side of our mat. So sideways, we look like this. Our left leg out to the left side. We're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Our arms come all the way up, reaching up to the sky. And we'll exhale, hands come down to heart center, pulling in those floating ribs, making sure your abdomen or our abdomens are nice and strong. And we'll fill ourselves with breath. And we'll reach the left hand down the left leg, right arm comes up and over, reaching like we're gonna go touch the toes. We're reaching, reaching, reaching to the left. Nice big breaths here, opening through the chest, stretching here. We're going to reach for the left and we're going to pull our elbow back. So we're reaching and pulling, we're reaching and pulling, reaching and pulling. One last time, reach and pull. Our right hand reaches for the floor, our left leg lifts, and we'll tiny pulses here. Lifting our left leg up parallel and as high as we can. You've got this, you can do it, and we'll rainbow, touch those toes forward and back. And then we'll hold that leg parallel to the floor. We'll reach our left arm way out above our head, big breath. And then we'll exhale, pulling the left elbow towards the left hip. The left knee comes up to touch. So we're opening wide. And we're touching elbow to knee, but wide open. Reaching at the side, elbow to knee. Thinking goddess with your hip. Reach and up. One last time, reach and up, and we'll left hand to the left hip, stretch that left leg out to the side, lower it back down, bring your hands back in front of you, coming back to all fours, flipping your toes. We'll lift our hips up and press them down for downward facing dog, bounce it out. So ground down through the heels, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Get those jiggly bits jiggling, shake, shake, shake. And you can even tap side to side, 1 foot at a time, stepping into center, running it out a little bit. And then grounding down into our feet, coming into downward facing dog. One more time, or not one more only, just for now, filling yourself with breath. And exhale, pulling your chest back towards your shoulder or your knees. Shoulder blades squeeze together and away from the ears. Neck is long. And we'll lower down through our knees to the ground, point our toes, come back to all fours. Ground into our right hand and our left leg. This time our right leg stretches out long and our left hand reaches opposite direction. Big stretch. We exhale, rounding the spine, elbow to knee. We'll inhale, lift and open. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lift, and we'll little pulses here, lifting and lowering. And exhale, elbow to knee again. And we'll inhale, reaching out, coming back to a neutral space, big breath. And as we exhale, our left hand moves over towards the top right corner of our mat. Right leg goes over to the back left corner. So we're crossing the body. We're inhaling, opening the leg to the right side, left arm to the left side. Exhaling, crossing the body. Inhale, open to the sides. Exhale, cross the body. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. One last time, exhale, cross. We'll inhale, open, left hand meets the floor, right leg steps open on the right side, tuck the tailbone. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. I'll turn sideways. We are here. Our right leg out long. We're going to roll out our wrists. So hands into fists, cycling out through the wrists. We'll open and close through the hands. And we'll knock the floor towards the floor. Knock towards the ceiling. We'll reach that right hand down the leg as the left hand comes all the way up and over. Big stretch to the left side. Reach, reach, reach over. And we'll reach as far as we can over to the right and then pull that elbow down towards the side as we come up. So reach, flex, reach, flex. So we're pulling like we're pulling something with resistance here. Reach, pull, reach, pull. Reach, pull, reach, pull. Keep it going. Reach, pull, reach, pull, reach, pull. One last time. Reach, pull. Our left hand reaches down for the floor on the left side. Right hand, right hip. We're going to lift that right leg up. And little pulses here, lifting and lowering. And then we're going to rainbow that foot front to back, lifting and lowering. Keep it going. You're so strong. You've got this. 3, 2, 1. We'll reach our hand up and forward, and we'll exhale, elbow to knee, nice and wide. So reach, exhale, pull the elbow to the knee at the side of the body. Reach, elbow to knee, reach, elbow to knee, and again, reach, elbow to knee. One last time, reach, elbow to knee. We're going to step that right foot forward. So we're in a lunge. You should be sideways on your mat. That's okay. So we're in this lunge position. If this is too much on your knee, you can turn back sideways and double up your mat. Otherwise, we're going to stay where we are. Take our left hand to the outside of our right leg. Reach our right hand forward. Lean forward. Reach, 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 reach. And we're going to inhale, lift our right arm all the way up and behind our body, twisting to the right. Our right hand's going to come down toward our heel as our left arm comes up. And we'll exhale, left hand comes down on the inside of the foot, right arm cartwheels over to meet the left. We'll flip our back toe, straighten out through our legs, turn to the left to come back to the front side of your mat. Toes are pointed forward, hips are pointed back. We're grounding down into our pinky toe sides of our feet, shaking our hips side to side, and letting our upper body hang. And we're going to bring that shaking to stillness as we bend our knees deeply so our forehead goes way towards the floor, and we're swaying a figure 8 side to side. Hands are just hanging out, doing whatever they do. And then we're going to step that left foot to the top of our mat, coming to kneel on the right knee, sitting up nice and tall. Our right arm reaches for the outside of our left knee. We hinge at the hips, reach forward with our left hand, big breath. As we exhale, we raise our left arm all the way up and open our shoulder to the side as our left arm reaches back. Fill ourselves with breath. And our left hand goes down to our heel as our right hand goes up towards the ceiling. Big stretch. And then we'll cartwheel right hand, left hand down to the inside of the foot, flipping that back toe, straightening the back leg. We're coming to a lunge. So we're bending deep into that left knee and we're kicking our butt with our right foot. So stepping it back and then hamstring curling your foot into your butt. And then knee into chest. So stepping back, knee comes into chest. And we'll step that right foot in beside the left. Toes come together. We'll inhale, hands come up the shins. Chest lifts for flat back. And we'll exhale, fold down. Hands step down. Feet step back for a plank pose. Hips go high and back, downward facing dog. Take them for a walk. Bending one knee at a time. Stretching out through the backs of your legs. Keep breathing. And we'll look up between our hands, transfer our weight forward, stepping our right foot forward, and we'll kick our heel into our left glute here. So hamstring curls with the left leg. 3, 2, 1. Knee to chest, step it back. Keep it going, keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Step it back, step other leg back. Hips come high, down dog, shake it out. Grounding down through the heels. Getting those jiggly bits jiggling. We love it when our jiggly bits jiggle. That's why we have jiggly bits. We'll look forward, transfer our weight forward. Keep that pulse happening as you come into your plank. And we'll lower our knees wide, toes come together, hips come back, child's pose. Go ahead, rest your forehead on the mat, nice sway, side to side. Keep breathing. And we'll look up between the hands, tent our fingertips, lift our torso up, widen our fingertips to the outside of our mat, and we'll shimmy our chest side to side. Little movements. And we'll walk ourselves forward, coming into plank. We're going to go out, out, in with the feet. Ready? Here we go. Out, out, in. So we're stepping our feet wide and then back in onto our mat. Keep going, keep it going, keep it going. 2, and 1. And we'll lower our knees down, bending our elbows close to the body, little push-ups. So exhaling down, inhaling up. Keep it going at your own pace. Push-ups, keep it going, you can do it. We're inhaling down, exhaling up if that works better. 3, 2, 1 more time, one more, you can do it. And press yourself down for child's pose. Bring your hands behind you, coming into fallen leaf. Roll out those wrists, forehead to the mat. Catch your breath. And we'll tuck our tailbone under, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And we'll step forward to the center of our mat, curling our toes, coming into a deep squat. So we're deep squatting. I'm turning sideways. We're in a deep squat. We're shifting side to side to get our heels close to being on the ground. Our elbows come to the inside of our knees. Palms come together. We're shifting side to side. Sitting here. We're going to take Temple Mudra with our hands, so point your fingers stay open, other fingers curl. So like James Bond hands here. And we're gonna point our fingers out in front, down at the floor, our hips come high. And then we're gonna move our hips opposite our hands. So we lower our hips down and send them over to the left as our hands go over to the right. We inhale, hips come down, hands come up. And then we exhale, hands come down, hips go up. So big circle here. Hands are up, hips are down, hands come down, hips come up, straighten through the legs. Coming in and out of your squat, but sideways. And then again, the other direction. So hands come up, hips come down, hands start to make their way down, hips come up. And then we'll sit back into our squat, hands come down to the floor. Bring our feet in just a little bit closer. And we're walking our torso up. Hands are at heart center. We're sitting here. We're so good at breathing. And we're going to gently lower our knees down to the mat. See if you can do it without slamming them. You can use your hands here if you need, or we're going to lower our knees down to the mat. Bring our feet in a little bit closer, and then lift our knees back, coming into our squat. And again, so knees come forward, and they come back. So from the side, you're on your mat. We're in our squat. Our hips or our knees are coming forward, and our knees are coming back. We're going to build onto that a little bit. We'll lower our knees down, and then lift our hips high and forward. Lower our hips down. Bring our knees back. So lower your knees down, lift your hips high, lower the hips down, bring the knees back into a squat, and again, lower the knees down, lift the hips high, lower the hips down, lift the knees up off of the mat. And one more time for fun. Up, universe has your back, don't even worry about it, this is no sweat. And back, good job. Hands come down, straighten out through the legs, bending one knee at a time, stretch it out. And we'll step our left foot up to the center of our mat. Hands come to help stabilize us in a triangle with our left toe. We're going to slowly raise our right leg as high as we can into the air, coming into standing split. Go ahead, rotate out through your ankle here, big circles. And change direction, go the other way. Press your leg as high as you can. And we'll exhale, bring that knee into the chest, hover the foot coming forward into our pistol squat. And little pulses, lifting and lowering through the right leg here. And then same way you got in, you're gonna be able to get back out. We're gonna transfer our weight nice and strong on our left leg. Straighten it up as we send our right leg back here. And high. And we're gonna inhale, lift through our chest, hovering into our airplane. Or warrior three. Make sure you can wiggle your standing toes. Leg is nice and strong. We're gonna bend into that right knee as our torso. Wall balance, our torso is gonna come up. Bending that right knee, heel comes to hip. We're gonna bring that right hand down, hold on to the right foot. Lift the left arm all the way up, pressing hand into foot, foot into hand, nice quad stretch here. And we'll bring our left hand out to the side and fly forward, coming into modified dancer. So pressing hand into foot, foot into hand. And we'll release the hand from the foot nice and strong. Straighten that right leg as we hinge at the hips. Reach for the ground, bending the left knee as you need. Bringing that right knee into the chest. We'll cross it in front of the left. Inhale, come up, half lift with your hands on your shins. And exhale, forward for a cross-legged forward fold. Hands come into the crooks of the elbows. Figure eight, side to side. And we'll release our hands back down to the ground, bending our knees as we need, stepping into that right leg. Our left leg extends behind us, and we fill ourselves with breath, and we lift that left leg as high as we can into the air, roll out through the ankles. So drawing circles here one way, and then changing direction, going back the other way. Keep breathing. And then we'll lift it up, little pulses, lifting as high as you can, which this is as high as I can go, and that's totally okay. So as high as you can, little pulses. And then we'll bend that left knee, bring it in through the chest, straightening out through that left foot forward, coming into our pistol squat, and we're lifting and lowering that left leg. Up and down, big breaths. And then transferring our weight forward, getting out the same way you got in, maybe. Sending that left leg back and high. We'll inhale, lift the chest, left leg comes parallel to the floor. Coming into our airplane or our warrior three. We'll bring our hands to our hips as we bend that left knee, straightening ourselves all the way up with our left knee bent. Left hand reaches back for that left foot. Pressing hand into foot, foot into hand. Nice stretch through the front quad. Right hand reaches up to the sky and then opens up to the right side. We're breathing. We're going to hinge forward at our hips. Hand into foot, foot into hand. Coming forward. And we'll release our hand from our foot, slow and controlled. Both hands back down to the ground, bending the right knee as you need. Lifting that left leg high. And then exhaling, bringing that left knee into the chest, stepping your left leg in front of your right. Inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lifts for flat back. And we exhale, fold here. Figure eights with the arms side to side. And we'll release our hands down, uncrossing our legs, toes come together, toes come together, knees fall apart to the mat, toes point. Heels come back, walking the hands forward, coming into rest in child's pose. Big breaths here. Wiggling the toes, getting a nice big stretch happening with them. Keep breathing. Staying in your child's pose, forehead to the earth. Fill yourself with breath. Nice and slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming through tabletop on all fours, lowering the forearms down so your elbows are underneath of your shoulders. You can measure them by reaching for opposite elbows and straightening them out nice and long. We're going to step one leg at a time out long, coming into forearm plank. So hips are down. And we're starting little waves here. So tucking our tailbone under, rolling forward, and then lowering our tailbone or our hips to the ground. So we're thinking waves. So we're lifting and lowering through our hips, rounding through our back as we do. So waving up and down through our hips or forward and back. And then coming to a neutral spine, we'll take our hips side to side. And then we'll lower our knees down, roll our hips back. Through child's pose, we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to come into our soul stretch. So turning our feet under, sitting back on our heels, reaching back, untucking the toes, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to reach our hands out in front of us, palms facing away from one another, so backs of the hands together. We're going to round through our spine as we reach forward in this way with our hands. And then we'll inhale, hands open up towards the ceiling, thumbs lead back, opening through the chest. Exhale, rounding the spine, bringing the backs of the hands together. Inhale, hands come back up towards the sky, looking up. Exhale, backs of the hands together, rounding through the spine. Inhale, turning the palms towards the sky, opening wide. We'll exhale, backs of the hands together. And we'll inhale, open. And then exhale, backs of the hands together, rounding the spine. And we'll inhale, squeeze, open. Hands come on either side of the knees, pointing the toes, laying them back down on the ground. Hands come close to the knees. We lift and lower through our knees. Little pulses here. Keep breathing. Stretching through the tops of the feet. Keep it going. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. We'll step forward with our left leg, sliding our right leg back, coming into a nice low lunge. So our left knee is underneath of our shoulder. Our right leg is well behind our hip. Our right hand grounds down underneath of our elbow. Our left hand's on our chest. We fill ourselves with breath. We exhale fully. And then we inhale, reaching that left arm up towards the sky. Nice back pedal with the arm here. So backward swim. And then we'll change directions there. Front crawl with the left arm. And then we'll reach that left hand down on the outside of the left foot, stepping that left foot over to the right side, laying our shin across our mat, coming nice and low here towards our pigeon. We're going to flip our back toes though and lift our hips high, and we'll tick-tock our hips side to side. So we've got pigeon legs in the front, but we're tick-tocking our hips side to side. And then we're going to draw some circles with that right hip. So lifting forward, whatever a circle looks like with your right hip today. Might be more like a diamond, and that's okay. Little circles here. And then we'll lower that right knee back down, point the right toe, walking our hands underneath of our body, lifting through our chest, coming into a high resting pigeon. Thinking, gripping the mat with your fingertips, pulling your chest forward before pressing it up. Nice long stretch through the right side of the body, but also getting that hip opener on the left. And then we're going to take that left hand, reach it forward. We'll inhale, reach it all the way up to the sky and back to the right thigh. Inhale and exhale forward. Inhale and exhale back. Inhale and exhale forward. Inhale and exhale back. Inhale and exhale forward. Bringing the left hand back underneath the left shoulder, flipping the right toe. We'll lift our hips up, send that left leg back, coming to downward facing dog. And we'll shake it out. And then we'll bend deep into our knees, lowering that left knee down. We'll bring that right leg, step it to the front, coming into low lunge on the other side. Left hand down underneath of the left shoulder. Big back stroke happening with our right arm. And then we'll change that back cycle into a front crawl. So front crawl, thinking leading back with the elbow and pedaling forward or swimming forward, stroking forward with the arm. And then we'll bring the right hand down on the outside of the right foot, walk the right foot across the mat, Lay that right shin on the mat, sliding that left leg even farther back, coming down onto your forearms or the full expression of your pigeon pose. Few breaths here. And we'll take that back toe, flip it, lifting our knee up off of the mat. Draw a circle with your left hip here. And then we'll lower that right knee back down, straightening the arms, bringing them more closer to the shoulders, gripping your fingertips into the mat, pulling the chest forward, and then pressing up. So nice long stretch from the pubic bone all the way up here. We'll take our right arm, reach it forward. We'll inhale to lift our arm up. Exhale, reach our right arm for our left leg. We'll inhale back up. And exhale, reach for the ground. We'll inhale up, exhale, reach back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. And one last time, inhale up, exhale back. I guess one last time now because we'll return it back. We'll release our hands underneath of our shoulders, flip our toes, lift our hips, right leg slides back to meet our left leg in down dog. We're going to bend our knees deeply, tuck our tailbone under, roll our spine forward, hips come down. We lift up to an upward dog, and we exhale, roll back, bending deep into the knees, straightening the legs. So knees go down towards the mat, rolling the spine forward, hips come forward, lifting up, tucking the chin, rolling the spine, comes back, deep knee bend, straighten the legs. One last time, we start our movement by bending our knees and we roll our spine forward into an up dog and we roll our spine back for down dog. Big stretch here. We're going to take one hand at a time, pat ourselves on the back. So walking side to side. We're going to keep that going as we start to walk our hands back towards our feet. Until our feet are flat on the ground. We'll tuck our tailbone under, rolling one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up. Coming into our standing mountain pose. Active through our feet, our fingertips, our shins are strong, our thighs are pulled together and apart simultaneously. Our elbows are active and strong. Our shoulder blades are squeezed towards one another. Chin is tucked, big breath. So we're in our mountain. We fill ourselves with breath. And we exhale fully. Inhale fully from your feet all the way up to your head. And exhale fully. You are so strong standing here. And we'll inhale, our arms come wide to the side, up to the sky. And we'll exhale, hands come down through heart center. We'll sit down into our chair, bringing our toes together, knees deeply bent. Keep breathing. And bending down a little bit further. And then we'll inhale, release our hands behind our back, scoop them under our bum. We inhale, coming into our full chair, biceps to ears, arms reaching up to the sky, into our big seated pose. Chair pose. Little pulses happening here. Our hands can come to touch above the head. We're little pulsing here. Keep breathing, keep pulsing. And we'll bring our hands down to heart center. Keep that pulsing going. Just little movements. And we'll release our hands down to our sides, palms forward. And we'll scoop the air here, bringing one knee at a time with it towards our chest. So marching it out here, we are so slow. We are so on purpose. We're reaching our hands, we're scooping, stepping, scooping, stepping, scooping, stepping, and scooping, and stepping. Both hands to the hips. We're gonna march it out. So bending and straightening one leg at a time, lifting and lowering, marching it out. We're gonna step our feet wide. We're gonna bring our hands to our heart all the way. We're gonna bend our knees down low for a squat, and we're gonna inhale, lift up. So squatting it out here with hands on the heart. So as we're squatting back, and as we're lifting forward, our hips come forward. Squatting it down, pressing forward. You're doing great. Keeping your back nice and strong. 3 more. 2 and 1. Coming to stand. We'll point our right toe, lifting our right heel off of the ground, getting our right hip going to the side. Hands can come to the hips, circling forward with the right hip. And then we're going to lower that right heel down, starting a movement to the right with our chest. We're waving our body forward to the right. So swishing forward and swishing back. Nice, beautiful. Keep the movement going. 3, 2, 1. We're going to point our left toe now coming up onto our heel. Hands on the hips, left circle happening from inner to outer, outer to inner, doesn't matter. We're just circling out through the left hip. Keep breathing. And then we'll step down into that left heel. Our chest goes over to the left side, starting a wave movement with the body, forward and back to the left side. So thinking chest, ribs, belly, hips, chest, ribs, belly, hips, back. So chest, ribs, belly, hips forward, chest, ribs, belly, hips, back. There you go. You can do it side to side. And then we'll bring ourselves to stillness. Toes come together, heels come apart. We'll inhale, arms come wide up to the sky. And we'll exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. And we'll inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lifts for flat back. And we'll exhale, fold back down. Coming all the way onto our toe stand. So our thighs are parallel to the floor. And we'll turn to the right. So we're facing the long side of our mat. Our toes are forward. And we're going to reach both hands over to the right side. We're going to plant them on the ground, and we're going to jump our knees over to the other side. So hopping side to side. So our right knee is by our left elbow. We're going to move it over to the other side, coming up to center, reaching over, hopping over all the way to the back of your mat. And then we'll reach sideways again, hopping over all the way back to the front of our mat. We're going to turn to the left, cross our legs, and sit back, rolling our spine backwards and forwards. Rolling out our back. Nice massage here, forward and back. And we're going to set ourselves up for our shoulder stand. So next time you roll back, stay there, lower your head onto the ground. We'll release our hands down to the mat, bring our feet or our knees up towards our nose, lifting our hips up off of the ground, using our hands to support our low back. Our feet are above our head at this point, and then we're going to straighten to our legs, making sure not to look side to side, coming into a shoulder stand. I've got my legs crossed right now, so you can leave yours crossed, or you can uncross them and cross them the other way, or you can uncross them and point them. I encourage you to take your legs for a walk here, pedaling them out like you're riding a bike or running really fast. moving them sideways, moving them around in circles. Kind of explore with your inner synchronized swimmer here, drawing shapes in the sky, writing your name, whatever. Be creative. It doesn't hurt. You can draw hearts. Just moving your legs around, exploring being upside down here, letting your arms hold your hips high while you move your legs around. Bending and extending opposite legs, or moving them around in a way that feels right to you. You can even take your stretch into a full plow, reaching both toes for the floor above your head. But we're gonna stretch them out here, just really enjoying being upside down. And then nice and slowly, we'll release our hands from our low back for the floor. Roll one vertebra at a time to the mat, pulling our knees into our chest. We're going to rock side to side, massaging out our back and our hips here. We're going to plant our low back into the mat as we pull our nose up to our knees, hugging our legs in nice and close. We are now a ball. Breathing here. And we'll release our head back down to the mat, sending our feet up high, those are knees in towards the armpits, holding onto the pinky toe side of our feet, pressing our heels up high, coming into happy baby pose. I like to crack my toes here or stretch out through my toes with my thumbs. So keeping in mind that we're paying attention to every part of our body in this practice. So just taking time to notice if there's anything you haven't wiggled. See if you can wiggle it. I don't think I've wiggled my ears yet. So thinking about that as I straighten my right leg nice and long. Left knee pulls into the chest. Bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Pulling the knee over to the right side as I reach my left hand over to the left. Taking a nice big stretch here. And then gently pulling that left knee back into the chest, switching hands, opening the left knee to the left side and the right arm to the right side, coming into fallen tree or lying down tree, supine tree. Untwisting here. And we'll release our left foot to the ground right below our bum as we bend our right knee so our right foot is also reachable by our hands. We'll fill ourselves with breath. And as we exhale, we'll press our hips up high to the sky. Gentle little pulses here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering the hips back down to the mat, stretching the left leg out long. Right knee comes into the chest, full breath. Grabbing onto the outside of the right leg, right hand comes long. We'll pull the left knee across the body to the left as we gaze over to the right. Keep breathing. And then we'll gently bring that knee back to center, switching hands, opening the right knee to the right side, left arm to the left side. Big breath. And then we'll pull that right knee back to center. Left knee comes to meet it. Feet down on the mat, close to the body. We'll lift our hips one last time into bridge. Before lowering one vertebrae at a time. Stepping your hips out nice and long. Or your legs out nice and long. Rocking side to side with your hips, taking up space here, wiggling your fingers and toes, and filling yourself consciously with breath. Filling your chest, filling the ribs, filling your belly, and exhaling from your belly. HA breath out your mouth. Sigh it out. Ribs and chest. Inhale, fill your chest, fill your ribs, fill your belly, and exhale. And one last time, consciously fill yourself with breath. And then exhale. As you let yourself settle in for your final resting Shavasana. Listen and be. Slowly begin to greet yourself with kindness by curling your lips into a gentle smile and gently reintroducing movement into your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe taking your hands overhead for a big stretch. And a yawn while we're at it. And roll onto your right or your left side, pausing here for a moment. Bringing your hand to your heart. Feeling your beat, your unique rhythm. And giving that rhythm permission to drive your day. And when you're ready, gently press yourself back up to a seated position, moving the fleshy bits out of the way. Once again, sitting up nice and tall. filling up your chest, filling up your ribs, filling up your belly with breath, pausing at the top of your inhale, and then exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. We'll inhale our arms wide to the side and up to the sky, filling ourselves with breath. We gaze up as we pause in exaltation and gratitude for our life, for this universe, for all that is. We are grateful. And we'll exhale, bring our prayer hands to our third eye center at our forehead, where we pause for a breath here, where we always remember to think kind thoughts. And we'll exhale, bring our hands down to our voice center at our throat and our lips, where we pause here and always remember to speak kind words. And all together in our practice today, we'll fill ourselves up, and we'll exhale, bringing our hands down to heart center, where we always remember to do kind things. Thank you so much for rolling out your mat and joining me wherever you are today. Please remember the universe has your back, and I see you. Namaste.